What is going on, you guys? This is Tornado Twister 52, aka Ashley, and I am going to be bringing you some weather videos. So let's get to it. But before we do that, let's hit that like and subscribe button on my YouTube channel. All right, let's go take a look at some weather. Now, we have a lot to talk about in terms of the upcoming weather. Right now we are not in technically not in hurricane season, but as all our forecasters, meteorologists know, the weather will do what it wants at the end of the day. Now, cannot define a hurricane, a tropical cyclone, or any sort unless it's done by the National Hurricane Center. We can talk about systems, but it does not mean it's going to be a tropical cyclone. So let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So we're going to take a look at some computer models here, and you can see right where we are. So bear with me, I'm on a different computer. Bear with me here. We're going to be watching a few. We have one kind of right here that'll develop. It's a possibility. We have one that'll likely develop out here in the far part of the Atlantic. We have one right here. I think this one on the left is going to be our least likely development. And then, of course, we have this as well. So we have a lot of different things we're going to be looking at. So let's take a look here. We're going to look at the GFS. So this is one of the models we're going to use. It's a long-range model, and this is one of the models that is going to see what we're looking at, including the pressure bars. So let's take a look here. We are into here. We're going to start this development here. We have the first system that we're watching is going to be out in the further end of the Atlantic, and in regards to it being a tropical system, it's pretty unlikely because of where it is located and where we are in the season. But as I mentioned, this is up to the National Hurricane Center. This is obviously not up to any of us but them. And as we continue on through, we will continue to see that system actually in the Atlantic strengthen, and that is probably going to be our more likely chance of anything developing out there versus closer to home. And we have another weather disturbance that tries to develop as we head later on into the next couple of days. You can see here, we start to see a little bit of a development near Florida and near Cuba. And again, will it be tropical? Unlikely. But is it going to be a disturbance nonetheless? Absolutely. And let's continue on here. My apologies here. Of course, my weather software decides it's not going to work. But you can really see, especially as we head out here to the further end into the Atlantic, how strong that storm system could be. And it could be wreaking havoc. Of course, we'll keep an eye on seeing if it reaches as far as the U.S. But as of now, no, but just keeping an eye on it. And as we move back over, we can see where that tropical system could develop into something of some sort near Florida and will likely travel up the East Coast as we head into the later end of the week. Now, we have a high-pressure system that's going to be over the Atlantic, and this is going to keep some of those that's going to inadvertently steer system number 1 near Florida towards the U.S. East Coast, but keeping the strong Atlantic storm away from the U.S. So that could be a pretty significant storm out there for sure. And as we continue on, of course, we do still have that system. It looks like we try to get something trying to form near South America and near Cuba, south of Cuba, so in the Caribbean. But doesn't look like that's probably going to be one of our least likely storms to develop into anything, really. But, of course, because of the warm sea surface temperatures we're still dealing with, don't discount that. So, again, watching that very carefully, and you can see how strong that weather system in the Atlantic really gets. But could be some very gusty winds, some very heavy rain. I don't think we're going to be dealing with a whole lot of rain if we do get the system going on the East Coast, because there's not going to be a lot of moisture to it. We're not going to see a lot of moisture input to it. Obviously, there's going to be moisture, but it's not going to be an overwhelming amount that we're going to see a lot of rain. And you can see as we continue on, we still have that system starts to strengthen more as we head closer towards the mid-Atlantic region of the U.S. And of course, again, this could be the start of some gusty winds and some very heavy rain later on into the week and probably even into the weekend, of course. But yep, as we head up all the way towards the East Coast, so New Jersey up through Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, could be breezy at times with this weather system that moves in. And of course, especially like Cape Cod and along the coast of Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, maybe Long Island, we could be seeing some heavy rain at times. Won't see an overwhelming amount of rain, but we could pick up some heavy rain at times through that period. And that low pressure continues again to strengthen as it continues to track to the northeast. And of course, that low pressure system I was mentioning does nothing but widens. So that's very interesting indeed. But it still could be windy at times. So this is going to be a system we're going to be watching very closely. And, something that we'll keep an eye on. Of course, I don't know if it's going to reach hurricane, tropical storm strength, anything like that. That is up to the Hurricane Center. They're likely watching it to see what it could turn into. But as of now, it's kind of hard to say right now. All I know is it's going to likely be a very strong system for especially the mid-Atlantic to the northeast. So keep an eye on that for sure. I will hopefully have more on this soon, but for now, it's going to be it. Thank you for joining me. Remember, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for me. I will see you later.